Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. All right, let's see how many people are back, back ready for, getting back to the real world. Not that Christmas isn't the real world, but for those that know me, I I'm like such a bah humbug, right? Like my birthday, I don't like celebrating. Sleeping, I feel like is a waste of time. Going to the bathroom, I feel like is a waste of time. Holidays, I don't actually enjoy celebrating. And again, total bah humbug, but it's kind of like one of those sentences that when you do something you love, you'll never work a day again in your life. And that's Rhino to me. So anytime I get pulled from Rhino, unless it's for like my son or something, or my daughter, I guess my wife, well, I guess that sounded awful, but my wife as well, like my family, and I think I just said, I guess my wife, because she's an adult, right? Like she could go to the bathroom herself, right? I certainly hope so anyway. So when I get pulled away, I think to myself, like, oh, I need to get back to work. Because as I see the people in, we have a slow start, but we're still in the triple digits. I've received emails from every single person. And those emails are, hey, Aunt, things are going really great. Hey, Aunt, these things could be better. Hey, Aunt, when's this going to happen? And things are really great are great emails. Love them. Like super cool. Things are not really great. I equally love them because then I'm like, okay, great. Thanks for telling me. Let's go make it better. When are things happening are the emails that I like want to rip out my eyeballs. And it's not because the person asked it. It's because, oh, we still got to get there. And that requires work. So when I get taken from work, I then think to myself, well, I could have gotten there sooner, or I could have gotten less of those emails in the future, but I have to sit here and celebrate a holiday, which is fine. My family got to see our daughter, which is really super cool. And our son was, he got more gifts than I think children's hospitals get. And I say that as like it's a good thing, like great, he got so many gifts, but like everyone only got him a gift. Um, and he still has gifts to open. So anyway, that was my Christmas. Yeah, thank you, Frida, and I hope you did as well. That was my Christmas. Actually, the I'll just tell one more story. The cherry on, the thing that made Christmas okay. So not to get into the whole nature versus nurture, but I grew up really, really privileged, and then really, really opposite, right? Like I was the oldest of six boys, so I remember things really great. And I was also old enough to see them turning. And I was also old enough to bear the responsibility of them going really, really badly. Point of the story is, it was always my goal that when I had a son and when I had a family, but most notably a son, because I'm a boy, right? So I reflect everything from my perspective. That when I had a son, I was going to do all the things that weren't done for me. And sometimes it's silly stuff like reading a book to sleep, right? Which I don't do all that often because we kind of have a good system in the house, but I always wish I did more of. But when it comes to Christmas, so my wife bought him this amazing big like truck, and it comes with all the components in the box, and you put the wheel in, and you screw this, and you wrench that, whatever. And I was so happy. So like when he opened it, he like looked at it, and then it was that father-son moment that is just it's very near and dear to me, right? So we opened the box, and he was totally scared, like it's a big thing. And I'm reading instructions that look like it was written by somebody that couldn't put two and two together. And I'm putting it together, I'm hammering this, and he's going over there. And the long and short of it is, I don't know when memories start, because you have your subconscious memories that you don't even know you have, and then you have your conscious memories that you do remember. But it is my belief that when your 15 or 16-month-old son sees dad at like 7 o'clock at night putting this truck together, and he's sitting there trying to eat screws, and I'm taking them away, I just believe that that's part of the DNA that creates who he's going to be. So that was really special for me. Okay, 4 minutes of my Christmas. So let's get to the good stuff. Not that my Christmas is not the good stuff, come on. All right, so we're doing an audit on the automations because they are live, right? Like, so, how many times have we come out here and say, oh my God, we're almost there. Well, we're there, right? Like, so they are live, they are going off in real time. I did just take another quick glance at our contract address for RHINO so I could see how many coins going out, who it's going to, and not as in like I see it going to Abdul Juma, right? But I see it going to XYZ. I can look it up, but that's not important. The point being, on every hour, I see bulks of coin going out, and that's how the bot is created, right? Every single hour, it does a review, and then it sends it all out. Now, because I don't know what I don't know, I did open it to everyone and say, hey, just double check, like make sure things look right, like make sure you look like you've got a transfer in the last week or so. And just because you didn't doesn't mean things are going wrong. It means your purchase might not have been somewhere between Wednesday and Sunday, right? It might be on a Tuesday, it might be tomorrow, who knows? But I checked mine and I've received my coin. I did get an email from one person who said I still didn't get it. And I think that was a unique situation because I do know why that person didn't get it. And it has nothing to do with their personality. They're wildly amazing. And I certainly, yeah, no, Frida, you're kicking butt. In fact, Frida, I just sent out RVP salary and affiliate stuff, and you were on the leaderboard. Well, you led the leaderboard. So check your wallet for that. Which, by the way, RVP, one of our rhinos told me, like, and it kind of sounds like you have like a core group, like people that know more, like they're closer to you. It's not, right? RVP is actually those that kick my butt. It's almost like what's it called? What's it called when like a test group when you're doing polls and you have like an audience and that's your, I don't know, but it's like it's like a certain sample advisory board, something like that. No, it's your testing audience, whatever the case may be. The point is, it's 20 to 30 really, really super passionate people that eat, sleep, and drink Rhino. So when I go ahead and share an idea, they say good idea, bad idea, right? So they're the ones that kick my butt that allows me to produce something to then share with everyone. And what this Rhino said to me was, well, it sounds like they know more than others. And I go, well, I guess by default they do, because when I'm creating something or when we're creating something, that's the moment that the idea just comes out and then we work on it. But within the next day, I'm right here sharing it. So everyone always knows everything every morning. Now, whether Sue might know something more than Todd at 4 p.m., okay, maybe, right? Because we're working together. But then the next morning, here we are again, and everyone knows everything again. And I think this Rhino just is like super special. Like one of my favorite. And I know she's on, which is why I'm sharing my love, right? But I do also want to make that known, right? Like that's how that works. It's always been known that no one ever knows more than anybody else, because that's not the way this was built. And when I say RVP and, oh, you're on the leaderboard for RVP, well, that's the affiliate platform, right? Like we've offered the affiliate stuff to everyone. Anyone could go ahead and share Rhino with anyone they want. And maybe I'll put that back in the email tomorrow, because I haven't put it there in like a week or two. But anyone can go ahead and receive their affiliate link and then share Rhino with anybody else. In which case, the bonus for just simply getting the opt-in, now the opt-in goes to the Rhino Street Lander, which I'm going to touch on because that actually is the purpose of today. So Rhino Street Lander, wow, this is great. This is the local search engine. This is what it does. Would you like to opt into learning more or being a part of Rhino? In which case the person says, oh, this is totally free. I get to list my business. Cool, opt in. That's what we're bonusing. So every one of those opt-ins, you get one Rhino. Now, is that fair, right? Like if you get an opt-in, Rhino I think is, well, I know it's at an all-time high because it's always at an all-time high, but it's like $2.25 right now. Is $2.25 enough of a reward for someone that opted in? Maybe, maybe not. Well, last week it was $2.10. Next week it'll probably be $2.40. And that will continue higher. And at some point it won't be one Rhino, because like when Rhino's at like $100, I don't know if I could give $100 just to go ahead and get an opt-in, but I wouldn't make that decision until at least 10 or 15. So everyone could participate. And of course, the Rhino you receive goes up in value. So it's an investment as well. So when I go ahead and say, yeah, Frida, you're kicking butt, you led the leaderboard. There are some on the leaderboard that actually are not part of RVP. They're just part of the affiliate platform, like Ian, who constantly kicks butt. So that's that. And I will put the share Rhino back tomorrow. I think excuse me, I honestly think I just ate too much for Christmas. I don't stop eating. We always have a little bit of a debate in the house, like, is the temperature good or not? I always think it's too warm. She always thinks it's too cold. And she goes, well, Anthony, you put on a lot of weight. And I was like, well, that was rude. Like, you give birth and now all of a sudden I'm the one. But anyway, so I'll get back to sharing that with everyone tomorrow. And maybe that's what tomorrow's email will be about. Okay, so Rhino Street, what I want to touch on. So the way RVP and I have been building this is that the affiliate link gets brought to the Rhino Street lander. In which case, here's the video, here's why you should join Rhino Street and get your business listed, right? Free listing, why wouldn't you? Once you do that, the thank you page is the listing page, in which case the person can list right there and then they could go search themselves, and really, really great. The email they receive is, hey, listen, welcome to Rhino Street. If you didn't list yourself over there, do it here. Then 2 days from now, they'll get another email. Hey, if you didn't list yourself, do it. But if you did, why don't you suggest someone else, help someone else, like share the wealth kind of thing. And then 2 days from there, hey, now that you fully know who Rhino is, would you like to know how Rhino is funded? When anytime anyone says something's free, that's kind of a red flag. Something's always paid for somewhere. This is how we fund it. Check out Rhino Bucks. In which case it goes to the Rhino Bucks lander. So as you can see, from the perspective of Rhino and steward of all of our investments, right? It is quite important that we go ahead and get the first part of the funnel correct. And to lead with Rhino Street has always been the challenge, yet the solution. And what I mean by that is when you say to anyone, hey, listen, would you like to list your business for free on this new local search engine? The answer should be yes if the question's asked the correct way to a reasonable adult. I'm asking if you'd like to list for free on this new local search engine, yes or no? And of course, the answer should be yes, right? Now, upon doing so, now that person is able to do it. Now that person is able to suggest someone. And once now the person fully understands what's going on, now they're more inclined to, yeah, I am curious how this is paid for. You said it was free and, kind of rubbed me the wrong way, but it was a search engine. So it wasn't like you were saying, do you want this free drug? Like medical drug, right? Like you want this free car. I didn't have to fully inspect too much because you weren't giving me something so big. But yeah, I would like to know how it's funded. And then you go into Rhino Bucks, which that lander is beautiful. It really, really, we did a really good job on that. So the idea is, and what I mean by challenge and solution was, Rhino Street is our crown jewel. Like that is the tech that makes us different than anyone in the world. But because it's free, it doesn't bring in any income. And any type of marketing efforts, whether it's paying in Rhino Bucks, which is not like, because we're a public market, anyone can sell Rhino Bucks at any point. So when I pay someone in Rhino Bucks, it's not me saying, I could just go pay them in these like monopoly money. No, they could sell it right there. It's as good as cash. So even though it doesn't mean cash is coming out of my bank account, it means I have, not debt. I have like receivables outstanding, right? Like deliverables outstanding. Like somebody could go ahead and redeem that in that moment, and then that is money coming out of the bank account. So it is one step from that, which is good because it allows people to invest, and it allows us to go ahead and preserve the capital that we have as much as possible. The point being that since we're able to take a token that we turned into a currency because anyone could buy and sell it, we can then use that to go ahead and to fund such a marketing campaign. And we've always wanted to do marketing from within. So when we could go ahead and get that first lander down pat, well, now anyone looks like a superhero. Hey, I have heard this company Rhino, and would you like to list your business on their local search engine? It's gonna be like the greatest thing ever. And it's in beta, they're populating it now, but would you like to be a part of it? That person in 6 days is going to be a receptive individual that understands the platform and is going to be presented Rhino Bucks. So we're able to lead with Rhino Street, which has no income at all, and go ahead and create and nurture the person to becoming someone that is receptive to something as scary as crypto, right? Because when you say to someone, hey, do you want to buy Rhino Bucks? It sounds like I meant like, hey, you want some Rhino? No, it's nobody wants to get into crypto, especially at a point where crypto is crashing. Do you know Rhino Bucks is the only coin that's up? Do you know in our Pancake Swap, which is our public listing, I see bots all day scalping our trades. And what I mean by that is, so when you're trading in crypto, it's gas fees. So a gas fee allows it to be a pending transaction. So if I want to buy 50 Rhino bucks, which I do all day, right? Like everyone sees, I buy all day. Well, the gas fee is whatever it is. And it's a pending transaction because the gas fee needs to be accepted and approved and blah, blah, blah. Well, there's these bots that are able to identify gas fee and determine, based on how large the gas fee is, then possibly how large the trade is, because the gas fee is a calculation, right? If you're going to buy $1,000 worth of something, it's X amount of gas fee, and so forth and so forth. So when the bot recognizes, wow, this is a big trade, it then pays a higher gas fee to get in the trade before we get into it, and then subsequently sells it immediately after we purchase it. What does that mean? It's totally illegal in Wall Street. Like, this is called front running. It's illegal. It's a felony in regulated markets. But in unregulated markets, it's not. It's actually just called technology. So when we go ahead and do large purchases, there are bots that come in and say, okay, they're buying $1,000 right now. I want to buy before them, and then I sell it directly afterwards. So for instance, they'll go ahead and say buy Rhino bucks at, let's say, 225, just to have round numbers. They buy at 225, knowing that I'm going to buy right behind them. So now I'm buying at, say, 226, and then they'll sell it to me at 225 and a half, right? Because then they sell it right away, which means they always scalp and make money off of us. We now have, I believe, like 7 bots. And I say that as a compliment to us, and by us, I mean everyone, but I also say it as the most frustrating thing in the entire world. Because we're the only coin that's going up, because we're the only coin that has money going into, because we're the only coin that's doing anything, these bots are just attacking and scalping and scalping and scalping. So it's funny. So yesterday I decided to have a little fun with them. Because it's a bot, I know it's coded, right? Like, it's not a person, it's a bot. So the code has to have, rules to it. And I gotta tell you, there's bots coded for us. And the reason I know that is because in the beginning, it was gas fees, right? So they would see a gas fee, they'd get it, like I just described. Now, the bots buy after there's a large sale. So say, for instance, one of our rhinos comes in and sells 100 on the day or whatever. The bots now know that because Rhino stands and supports the coin, that any sale that brings the coin down, Rhino's then going to buy it back up so that it can continue supporting and creating what we're doing. That's the way Rhino's built. You sell it, we have the money, we buy it. The money comes from you, and that's the point. Like, it's an investment that we're all in together. So now when there's a large sale, there's bots that buy it. They're not buying on, well, some are still doing gas fees, but not all of them. We have 6 bots that now buy anytime Rhino's down, which I started playing with yesterday. So I was like, okay, let's see how far these bots will go. So the Rhino was down like a cent or two, right? So I then sold 100, and it was down 3 cents. Then I sold 100, then I sold 100, then I sold 100. And then I was like, I don't want to scare our own rhinos, right? Like, the Rhino got down to 215. And again, anytime you're dealing with the market, the point of our market is the fact that we are so transparent that we allow everyone to always know what's normal. This is what we're going to do. This is how we're going to do it. And everyone has a certain expectation. So like, if you check Rhino randomly in the day and it's down 10%, you know something went wrong, because it's never down 10%. It's not designed that we'll ever allow it to be, right, Robbie? It's not designed for us to ever tolerate it being down 10%. And conversely, if it's up 10%, you know it's not going to stay that way. In fact, someone bought like $600 the other day, and I felt so bad because it spiked it up to like 232, and then I sold right into it, because that's how we're exhausting the supply. That's how we're doing it. And I always feel bad. It's like, all right, someone really likes it, and then, they have an immediate loss. But it's only a loss when you sell. Like, obviously, it'll go back up. So I just kept selling. And then at 215, I had like a come to Jesus moment. Well, I don't want to say that, because I don't want to be offensive with religion, right? I had a kumbaya moment where I was like, all right, I don't want to scare anyone. Like, I don't want a rhino to be like, oh my God, it was 225, now it's 215. Like, what's going on? It's Christmas. So I bought it right back up. And at the end of the day, those bots all then sold with a profit. And I was like, you guys gotta be kidding me. because it's more like I'm from the investment background, so when you're on Wall Street, you'll notice it's not about money. No one cares about money. Everyone has money. It's whether you win or lose. It doesn't matter how much. I've seen Wall Street investors go cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs over like $5 bets. And then they would just throw $1 million out the window. Like they didn't, it's about the competition because that's who they are. Like that's how we're, So when I see those bots just like $1 here, 50 cents here, it gets me so frustrated. So I was thinking, I was like, you know what? Let me just see how far they could go. Like, what if I just sold it down to $1, right? And then I was like, oh my God, Anthony, you would cause panic and it'd be like blowing up a house to kill a mouse, right? Like you would just never do that. What am I gonna do? Blow like everyone in Rhinos like loses their mind just so a bot that's not even an actual person like loses money for a day. So we'll find a solution to it. So now I'm just kind of like buying in smaller increments. Like I'm buying like 11 here, $13 there. I'm selling and leaving it longer to see if maybe the bots are coded in time. When you buy here, then sell it an hour from now or 5 hours now. So I'm playing with it, but I say this out loud so that everybody knows. If you see some type of like variance that like, oh wait, that seems a little peculiar, I'm sharing why. I'm already, see, I haven't spoken to anyone in like 2 days and now I'm way over. Lastly, I think this is lastly, right? Okay, lastly, so the lander that we're going to make, thank you, Robbie. So the lander that we're going to make, I'm going to script and create today. And I say that knowing that I might be lying because I'm hopeful that I will finish it today, but I'm going to start scripting it like immediately after this call. And I'm going to create the site as a duplicate or like as a clone to our RHINO site because the RHINO site is really great. So if we can do the same look and feel and then just exchange the information, right? Instead of RHINO RHINO Street and blah, 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 then it should be equally as great. We need an Anthony bot. I'm the Anthony bot. Like, it's funny. Someone said to me, they're like, if I didn't know any better, I would think you came from the future and came back. I'm like, maybe I did. How would you know, right? So I want to make a new video. That's why I wear RHINO every day, but that's why I'm wearing the nice green RHINO Street shirt. Because I want to go ahead and create a presentation. This is what RHINO Street does, but then also show it in real time because now we have this ChatGPT AI stuff in it, and it's something that people are starting to hear. Like I read it in the paper, and I say that because for Christmas, I said that we had it, and my aunt's like, "Oh, I think I heard something about that." And she would probably take offense to how I just like made her sound like she's 90 years old. But even my cousin and I go, yeah, we have that. They go, what? I go, yeah, we have that. We got the permissions and we have it in our search engine. My wife the other day is like, oh, I wrote another contract using RHINO Street. And I'm like, do you know that like we pay X amount for every 0.002 words or something? She's like, well, sorry. She wasn't sorry. But anyway, the point of the story is, that's something really cool, which will allow our rhinos, hence the share RHINO that we're going to let out tomorrow, well, not let out, but reintroduce, that you can say, hey, not only is it a local, they have the ChatGPT. Did you hear, they have it. Look at the video, watch. In which case the person's going to see the video and say, wow, that's like really cool. Like, of course I want to be part of this company. And then, hopefully that everyone doesn't use it all day. Like for instance, one of our rhinos the other day sent me an email, go, oh, I was playing with ChatGPT. I asked it to write me an 800-word article about RHINO Street. And I was like, as I'm reading it, I'm like, 800 words times 0.0002. So we don't want it, we're certainly well-funded to allow it to be used, but if you don't need it, like, don't use it kind of thing. But I want to have that today so that everyone can do something really special. And then there is this girl in New Zealand that is a fantastic marketer. So she actually, I'm just talking now. I'll go another 6 minutes. If I'm going too long, just X me out, right? So there's this girl from New Zealand who actually coded, and this is amazing, the ChatGPT bot and integrated with Zapier and her Twitter. So the long and short of it is, when a particular hashtag is tweeted, and it's one that's obviously near and dear to her business, right? she's able to auto respond to it, and she told ChatGPT, respond with a funny and witty comment, 40 characters long, based on, and then put a variable of what that person wrote. And then also code ChatGPT creates an image that equals blah, blah, blah. And then go. So, and it's not perfect yet. Like I saw her doing it and it's like far from perfect. But what it does is when somebody goes ahead, anyone in the world goes ahead and tweets using her hashtag or a hashtag that she would like, it then auto responds to it, writes a funny sentence and gives a picture that's really relevant and adds her link. So anyone that looks at it, it's like, oh, cool, haha, maybe I'll go follow her, or maybe I'll look into what she does. And when I say automated, I mean free, right? Like those are the same words. This is happening all day, every day. That's really good marketing. And she's like a TikTok sensation. So she has a book a call option for $150 for 60 minutes. And I really think, I'm like, again, we're thinking marketing, like that's cool. Like, not only can she do that, but how much other stuff do we not even know she could do? And, I always say the great thing about RHINO, and then there's like a bazillion great things about RHINO. But one of the bazillion great things about RHINO is no matter what, and my household has like, all right, we can't, don't go shopping today, let's go shopping tomorrow type of stuff with finances, because no matter what, I'm willing to die on the tracks to protect RHINO bucks price. Like there is nothing that comes before that price to me. And the point of me saying that is, do you know we are coming up on 3 months of having a chart that only goes up? At some point, there's a period of time where people say, they have a chart that only goes up, that alone. So we could be complete buffoons, right? Like say we're incompetent dodo birds. It wouldn't matter. There are people out there that would just take a picture of that chart and say, hey you, would you like to get into this? Would you like to get into this? No, don't worry about what they do. Would you like to get into this? Would you like, okay, sign up. That's the power of the chart, that the marketing then just gets done by itself. Like it gets done automatically. Because when you and I are sitting here talking, hey, we're making this thing called RHINO Bucks and it's gonna go up for 3 months in a row, you have to believe me. You have to say, Anthony, nothing goes up 3 months in a row. In fact, everything's going down. In fact, crypto's crashing and you're telling me you're gonna make one I have to see it to believe it. And that person won't get in. Well, guess what? It happened. It did. Like it's so now the person says, okay, you were right. I was wrong. I believe you. I want in. The point being that picture of the chart, and again, it's publicly traded, so anyone can see the chart, is worth a lot if in the right hands. And in the hands of someone that's a fantastic marketer that has access to get in front of people that could take action, it's very valuable. What we have is very valuable. We just haven't been able to reveal the value of it, unveil it, release it, because Anthony's a terrible marketer. So Dr. Smith, one of the things, and my wife always says that, Anthony, find a way to charge people for stuff. And I said, there's a bazillion ways I could charge people for stuff. I just don't do it, and I refuse to. But to that point, we could totally charge for the search engine. I just won't do it. I refuse to. But it is a good idea, and a normal business would do that. So what was I saying? So I do want to reach out to her and see what's going on. So I'm actually going to book a call with someone else. And she charged $150 for 60 minutes. I'm like, do I get like a Coca-Cola with that or something? But I think she'll be really valuable if things go well. I gave my team the week off for holiday. Because it's not like we're rich where I have like money to give bonuses. But this week is marketing, and I could do marketing by myself. Well, I can't because I'm not good at it, but their skill sets are not marketing. It's like coding and search engine and all the other stuff. So I say that because Anthony's a nice person, right? Like the whole team is off for the week, except for V, who is, it's not because like, oh, boo, V. No, it's because she's all the emails. Like she's too valuable to let off. So what I said to her was, if you could just catch up with emails for the first hour every day, And then I'll let everyone know that the rest of the day you won't be responding, which I'm doing right now. So if anyone needs an immediate response, Anthony at Rhino Street, I'm there for you. But any emails to her, she'll catch up the next morning. I think that's it. So lastly, I'm having fun. Like I haven't spoken to you guys in so long. I think I told RVP I'm gonna start up competing with them starting next week. Let me just get this week taken care of. And what I mean by that is there's some that do marketing by cold email campaigns. Now, Anthony was like the best cold email campaigner ever. So I wanna get back involved with that. I just gotta see how. But the cool thing is, if you go ahead and have an email platform that you know the ropes and you could do cold emails and you know how to email, right? Like there is a difference between cold email and spam, in my opinion. If you just send someone that you don't know anything, like, hey, would you like to buy a bologna sandwich? It's like, leave me alone. It was like, hey, Jennifer, I know you love bologna sandwiches because I found your name on the Bologna Sandwich Hall of Fame. We have a really great one. Would you like to try it? Well, is that a cold email? Yeah, but is it a spam email? Well, I didn't offer spam, right? Now, am I talking about the food? Anyway, point being, I want to get back into that and kind of like all grow together. And I think, despite my inadequacies in marketing altogether, if I can go ahead and send 1,000 to 2,000 new people every single day, a good message and a free opt-in, and then that opt-in has the marketing funnel system that goes to Rhino Bucks, I think that's the key. So I used ActiveCampaign to do my cold emailing, and I think they thought I was going to re-sign with them because Abigail, I think, had it on recurring every year. It was like an old $10,000. And I had switched my card before then, not on purpose, but my bank account had a new card. And they've been contacting me, hey, you owe 10,000. I'm like, guys, no, I don't. I didn't, like, I'm not using it. I did not opt into this. So I have to reach out to them because I don't know if they think I owe them money. I don't think so because they're still sending me marketing offers. But if they do, I need to resolve that. But if not, I think I want to re-sign with them. So I guess the long and short is I'm going to pay them anyway, but not 10,000. All right, this is by far the longest I've gone, which it's been a while. So everything is good. I can now send 9,000. Oh my God, yeah, Frida, we're gonna kick some butt. Yeah, they are notorious. Yeah. All right, everyone, totally love you. I will see you tomorrow, and I hope to have that lander done. I really, really do. And then tomorrow's email, I will focus on Share Rhino, so everyone can get the affiliate link again, in which case everyone that has the lander and likes it says, okay, here's the link, blah, blah, blah. And then maybe, you know what? Maybe we'll just start doing like cold email seminars. Like for instance, if I'm going to do cold emailing every day anyway, what if I just came on Zoom, left it live all day and did a screen share and everyone could just kind of watch how I'm doing it and then do it yourself? Because if, God forbid, we could get like hundreds of people all just cold emailing the proper way all together, oh my God. Talk about warp speed, right? Okay. See, that's why we talk. Let me think on it. Obviously, it's a good idea. I just want to see how to do it. Remember, it's not, and this is the last point. It's not the idea that's ever impressive. It's the execution. I had the idea to cure cancer. Great. How you do it, right? So yeah, like having a cold email campaign that everyone could participate in is a good idea. How do you do it? So let me work on that. All right, done. Stop talking to me. RVP, I'll see you at 2:00. Love you. Bye, everyone. And Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. And okay, fine, bye.